When a warning comes from someone who claims to have seen classified intelligence, the question is not whether it is true. The question is why it was delivered at all. This is not a story about a missile strike. Not yet. It is a story about a name, and what happens after a name appears in the wrong place. For several days, northern Nigeria has been reacting to a claim that cannot be independently verified, but cannot be easily dismissed either. Sheikh Ahmad Gumi, a cleric known for his direct engagement with armed groups in the northwest, says he was contacted by a senior government figure in Abuja. According to Gumi, the message was brief and specific. He was told that foreign intelligence assessments no longer view him as a mediator. He was told that his activities had been reclassified, and he was told that this change carried consequences. Gumi says he was warned that the United States had marked him as a terrorist facilitator, not for combat, but for influence. That distinction matters. In modern counter-terrorism doctrine, influence can be enough. The allegations surfaced at a time when regional dynamics are already tense. Within weeks, air operations in parts of Sokoto State targeted armed camps linked to mass abduction networks. Nigerian authorities acknowledged cooperation with foreign intelligence partners, though operational details were withheld. Shortly after, the detention of Sheikh Sani Khalifa was confirmed by security sources. Investigators alleged financial transfers between Khalifa and individuals under active terrorism investigation. No charges were announced. No public briefing followed. But the message was clear. Clerical status no longer guarantees insulation from scrutiny. Gumi's concern, however, goes further. He claims the warning he received referenced a policy shift in Washington, one that no longer prioritizes arrests or extradition when dealing with individuals described as ideological enablers. Whether such a directive exists is unknown. What is known is that American counterterrorism frameworks have expanded over the last decade. Material support is no longer limited to weapons or money. Advocacy, legitimization, and repeated engagement with designated groups are increasingly considered operational contributions. From that perspective, Gumi's record is complicated. He has repeatedly entered forest camps controlled by armed factions. He has spoken publicly about their grievances. He has criticized military operations that target them. To some, this is dialogue. To others, it is normalization. Gumi insists he is being mischaracterized. He argues that engagement reduced violence and opened communication channels where force had failed. He maintains that branding him an insurgent ally ignores years of public condemnation of attacks on civilians. But the accusation he fears does not rely on intent. It relies on effect. Did his presence lend credibility? Did his language soften perception? Did his access allow others to move more freely? Those questions are not answered by speeches. They are answered by analysts, far from Kaduna. What has amplified concern is the response, or lack of one, from traditional and political authorities. Northern governors have avoided public comment. Senior religious institutions have issued no formal statements. No official denial has been released by federal agencies. In conflict environments, silence is rarely neutral. It can indicate uncertainty. It can indicate internal disagreement. Or it can indicate that discussions are already taking place behind closed doors. Gumi has interpreted the silence as fear. Fear of association. Fear of escalation. Fear of being misunderstood by foreign partners who do not operate within local context. The operational aspect of his claim adds another layer. This is not about detention or prosecution. It is about remote targeting. The technology involved, if his fear is justified, removes geography as a shield. Movement patterns matter more than location. Communication habits matter more than titles. In that environment, public visibility becomes a liability. Gumi has reportedly limited appearances. His travel has slowed. His statements have shifted from criticism to defense. These are not the actions of someone preparing a legal argument. They resemble the behavior of someone attempting to reduce exposure. At the center of this situation is a strategic dilemma. If foreign partners act independently, it raises sovereignty concerns. If Nigerian authorities intervene to protect a controversial figure, it raises credibility concerns. And if nothing happens, the uncertainty itself becomes destabilizing. Was the warning accurate or precautionary? Was it meant to protect or to distance? Was it based on verified intelligence or risk assessment? Each possibility carries consequences. There is also a broader implication. If ideological influence is now sufficient for lethal designation, where does the line sit for journalists, negotiators, or intermediaries? At what point does access become endorsement? At what point does dialogue become participation? These questions extend far beyond one cleric. As of now, no official confirmation supports Gumi's claim. No official denial contradicts it. The situation remains unresolved. And unresolved situations in security contexts often evolve quietly, until they do not. So the issue is no longer whether Sheikh Ahmad Gumi is telling the full story. The issue is whether the story itself has already moved beyond him. Because if influence can be targeted without indictment, the next name may not come with a warning, and the final question remains unanswered. When intelligence assessments change silently, who decides when a conversation becomes a crime?